Love and light, everyone. So today, guys, I have a special guest, someone who has been traveling to Dominican Republic for some time, and I wanted to bring her on the platform to kind of give her perspective on things. As I said, she's been traveling for a while, so she has experience, and I wanted to interview her. I think it'd be great to have her on the platform. So now I'm going to give her the opportunity to introduce herself and pretty much tell you guys a little bit about herself. So, Colleen, I'm gonna give you the floor, and you go ahead.
Hi everyone, my name is Colleen. I am a expat here in DR. I'm currently in Puerto Plata, where I've been living on and off for since 2018 actually. I'm a travel nurse. I've been a nurse for 28 years. Um, I just decided that I wanted a change from the States, and somehow came to me. I had friends here. So I came and I visited and I fell in love. And because I'm from Jamaica, I'm Jamaican. So a Caribbean island just seemed like a good fit for me. And I've transitioned. I stayed here um, during COVID. I was here for the entire year. Once they opened, I went back got COVID here and was in the hospital. So I experienced the healthcare from DR and, as a nurse and as a patient. So
Hmm.
my next journey is now doing content creation, which is actually like a passion project for me. It's not that
Hmm.
I aspire to be a YouTuber or anything. It's just that I'm very creative and I
Hmm.
wanted to use some of that creativity and I channeled it into YouTube. So I started 2 years ago and
Uh-huh.
got to 117 subscribers, and then life took over, and I just wasn't inspired with all the stuff that was going on. And now I'm back, and
Hmm.
I'm here, back to the DR, moved here again, shipped everything over again, and this is my home, and it's gonna be my home. And of course, I'm married to a Dominican, so it is home because he does not want to live in the United States. And here I am on Dave's channel.
I found it to be very interesting. You being Jamaican and investing in DR. I know I had that conversation with you already, so I just wanted to, let give the viewers, your background. What made you decide to just say, what, let me invest in the Dominican Republic? Like, what made you decide to do that? Being from
Um,
Jamaica, because that's very rare. It's very rare to have a foreigner from another country invest into another country. So yeah, give me your reasoning as to why you decided to do that.
my story is a little tragic. My uncle, who had left Jamaica when I was a little girl, he moved to London, lived there for a while. He was an engineer, and then he moved to Canada. And then after being away for so many years, decided that he wanted to go back home, and he bought a house in Jamaica. Did the same thing, moved back home. This is where he wanted to be, and he was shot and killed in his driveway.
Mm.
It was an attempted robbery. And that was very traumatic for me because uh, this was somebody that wanted to return to their homeland after being away for a long time. That was, I guess, it became his final resting place.
Hmm. Hmm.
But the way he died, I don't think that he deserved to die like that. And after that, I had no interest in going back to Jamaica. My family, his children, nobody wanted to go back there because we just wanted to think of Jamaica the way it was when we lived
Hmm.
there when we were kids. And then this was always like a cloud. And I refused to go to his funeral because I just couldn't handle it. And
Hmm.
it, it's just since then I have no desire. Although I have lots of friends who go home 3, 4 times a year, they're still very connected to Jamaica.
Hmm.
Most of my family have left. When I go to Jamaica, I am a tourist because everybody's gone.
Uh-huh.
Some are in Canada, some are in Europe, some are, they're everywhere. So whenever I go to Jamaica, I have to go with somebody who knows the terrain, who knows how to get around. And
Okay.
other than that, I really don't have any more connection to Jamaica. So that's just for me. But my story is not everybody else's story, and I don't want Jamaicans coming for me. Not anything bad. That's still my country. I still even have my accent.
Right, you
But
do, you do,
yeah,
you do.
I still have my accent. I came
So
here when I was 10. So
wow, 10 years old, and your accent is still, it's I wouldn't say heavy, but if I didn't know you, I would know that you were from the Caribbean just based on your accent. So okay, so you've been traveling. So how long have you been traveling to Dominican Republic?
since 2018 was the first time I came.
Oh wow.
And friend, I had a friend who had a friend here. And I wanted to come because he was always coming back and forth. And he had married a Dominican woman. And he says, go to DR, go try somewhere different. And I went, and he called his friend and said, my friend is coming over, take care of her. And this friend of his is actually a Dominican who used to live in the Bronx. So his
Uh
English
huh.
was perfect. And he knew, this is his country. So he knew the place. So I came over and we just immediately hit it off. And we were like so tight. He was with me everywhere. And I decided to get an apartment, so I rented an apartment and I would come back and forth like once a month. I was,
Hmm.
I was here. And eventually I started looking around and I said, maybe I could live here. And that's when I got into opening a business and rest I shall say history.
Okay. So I know you said you were a traveling nurse, right? Right. So because I'm in a healthcare profession as well, so I work with a lot of nurses, and you pretty much done set yourself up to whereas you're there pretty much full time. Is that correct? Right.
Yes.
So what have you done to set yourself up financially so that you can sustain yourself while you're there full time?
Well, I took an early retirement when I hit 60.
Okay.
So I knew, based on my budget and the cost of living here, that I could pretty much retire and live on what I got from Social Security, plus whatever else I had going on. But when I opened up my store, I opened up two businesses. I opened up a boutique and a beauty supply store.
Mm-hmm.
And then later on down the road, I opened up a smoothie shop on Sosua Beach. I don't know
Okay.
if anybody's been to Sosua, but it's pretty busy.
Uh-huh.
Now, because I'm trying to make some more investments, one
Mm-hmm.
of which is investing in Punta Cana, which is growing by leaps and bounds. So what I do is I go back to Florida once a month, and I'll work for about a week. That's all, about a week straight, and then I'll
Mm-hmm.
come back. So I'm here 3 weeks and I'm gone 1 week, and
Okay.
that's sort of getting me to my next goal because you know everything costs money, and if you're living on
Right.
a fixed income and you budget yourself, you know what you can afford. So
Mm-hmm.
if and the good thing about being a nurse is that there's no limits. Like I still have my license, I can move around. It's very flexible. So I do PRN, which means
As
I
needed.
can set my own schedule,
Mm-hmm.
So I set my schedule, I call them up, send them an email. I'm coming, put me on the schedule. I work until I feel like coming back, and then I'm off. I'm gone.
Okay. Okay. Um, I'm gonna read this comment because well, let me read these comments. Magullian says, "My man Jay, always spreading great content. I appreciate you, brother." Sharonda Checo, hello everyone. Hello, Sharonda. And Mr. Sheldon Gaza City, are you sitting here saying it's your country, but you got nothing to do with Jamaica? So I guess that was for you.
Um, I wouldn't say I don't have anything to do with Jamaica. I left Jamaica when I was 10 years old. I was a child.
Hmm.
So all my family has pretty much left. So if and when, and I have been back a few times, I always have to go with somebody who knows the island because I don't know the island. I
Hmm.
spent all my young adult years in Brooklyn, New York.
Okay.
And, at this point in my life, I still consider myself Jamaican. I have dual citizenship. I'm a US citizen and I still have my Jamaican passport.
Okay. Okay. So there you have it, Mr. Sheldon Gaza. I believe she answered your question. So you well at the time when you were traveling, you were single, right? So let's just talk about your experience traveling there as a single woman. Like your first time there, what was your experience like? Like what made you just say, you know what, I love it here. I'm ready to move here. Like what made you decide to do that?
I just like the energy, and
Uh
I move a lot on energy. And when I came in, everything seemed so. I came into where did I come into? Puerto Plata? I don't remember. But
huh.
anyway, the energy, it just reminded me of Jamaica so much. And it brought back a lot of my childhood.
Hmm.
I know you've been back and forth and just, the simplicity of it all, like just seeing people helping. Okay, I'll give you a for instance that reminded me so much of Jamaica. We were driving and my friend, his name is Winston, nice guy, but was embarrassed to tell us that the car was running out of gas. And
Hmm.
it was a curfew. So everywhere was closing down. By the time we were just going up the road and I'm looking at the car slowing down, slowing down, slowing down. And he was like, I'm saying like, Winston, what's going on? He said, I didn't want to say anything, but we're running out of gas and there's no more gas stations open,
Oh wow.
right?
Hmm.
So the car came to a dead stop in front of a house, by the way.
Uh
And you would not believe people were beside themselves, pulling over to come and help us. What's going on? Then they pushed the car up
huh.
the hill. The person that the car stopped in front of, the house was on an incline. They pushed his car out of the road up into the driveway. They had to go backwards because it was up on a hill. The lady and her husband, whose house it was, told us to stay right there. They brought us food. They were offering us everything. Stay right here. You don't have to go anywhere. Make your call. Gave us their internet. I mean, everybody was so helpful. And
Mm.
it just spoke to me differently because I, being a woman and being in the States, sometimes you're in situations. I used to take New York City subway. I would
Hmm.
be scared to get on the train, right?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't feel afraid here. Like I really don't feel afraid here. Like Santo Domingo might be a different story, but where I live in Puerto Plata, I don't feel, afraid as a woman. So that was one of the things that reminded me of Jamaica so much because I remember growing up when anybody would break down, you would see everybody come out to help. And, they're not asking
Hmm.
you for money or they just genuinely want to help. So that
Okay.
spoke a lot to me. It really did.
Mm. Okay. So I know DR is known for, the women, especially, is known for men traveling there. Not so much of women, and now over the years it's gotten, very, very popular for women to even travel there. So, I know you told me your age. I don't want to disclose that, not unless you want to, but you are a woman of a certain age. So let me just ask you, a woman of a certain age, I know, because I know women tend to have a hard time finding love once they reach a certain age, if they're not already married. But you being a single woman traveling there, like, what was your dating experience like? Like, what was how were you received by the Dominican local man? I mean, were you going there with the mindset of looking for love, or it just kind of just happened?
It kind of happened. I wasn't looking for love. My time here was spent more discovering myself
Hmm.
and more or less just unwinding from the hectic pace of being in America. So I came here with different intentions. I was not looking for love. I was just excited to have the opportunity to not be afraid to try something new based
Hmm.
on the fact that I was a nurse and I could travel around the country and I met a lot of people, but traveling outside of the country sometimes is very scary for a lot of people. So I was really excited because I'm a little bit adventurous. I would say I'm a lot adventurous.
Hmm.
And I I welcomed it. And I really wasn't alone because like I said, I had my friend Winston with me. And he was always with me. He made sure that I was well protected.
Hmm.
Um, but as far as dating, I didn't see, especially being on the North Coast, I didn't know anything about Sisua. I didn't know anything about DR being more of, male travel
A man's
destination. I had no
it's
clue.
considered like a man's paradise, but okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
I didn't even know what a chica was. I didn't know anything. I was so greedy, and
Uh-huh.
and then I rented a house in Sasua, and I was enjoying myself. I was enjoying the walkability. Like I could come out the house and walk down El Bate, go into a restaurant. That to me was just exciting.
Hmm.
And then as I was here, I started to, I saw certain things, and I became, really more of a part of a expat group. So I met Taylor Made Dreams, and
Okay.
he put me in the group. And then I started to interact more with a lot of people, and it was mostly men.
Hmm.
And as time went by, and I made more frequent trips here, I sort of heard, about Sasua, and then so doesn't apply to me. People do
Uh-huh.
whatever they want to do. I have nothing to do with that, and as long as nobody bothers me, I'm fine with it. I don't care.
Hmm.
So,
Hmm.
yeah, but I just wanted to experience my childhood again. Let's put it that way, living on an island. So,
Okay.
but now at that point, after 5 years, almost six, I'm ready for another experience. And since I got married last year,
Hmm.
um, I absolutely love Punta Cana because it reminds me of the best of both worlds. It's like Miami in DR. That's
Okay.
how I feel. It's like Florida in DR. So I'm
Hmm.
transitioning over there early next year.
Oh, okay, but permanently?
Mhm.
Oh, wow, wow. Well, I'm gonna read some of these comments and then I'll go back to the questions. Nev on a daily. Hey, Nev, how you doing? Sheldon, guys, the city simplicity. We need to survive. He says that's all Black people are by nature. We need to start traveling to more of these Black countries, especially in the Caribbean. We need to come together as a collective. PS1. Know that we are all Africans. And Sharonda Checo, I love her. She's speaking the truth for us. So, guys, those of you guys are in the chat, be sure to hit the like, the share, and subscribe. And for those of you guys who don't know where the like button is, it's the three dots on the top right corner. Just hit the three dots, and it will allow you to hit the like button. Okay, so now you've been there for quite some time, and it's funny that you said you're transitioning to Punta Cana because for me that's been traveling there since 2015. I feel like I've been to Punta Cana, I've been to to the North Coast, Samana, and all those places, and I don't know. For me, it was just like uh, the North Coast resonated to me. I'm not really so. I don't know. I guess Punta Cana for me feels more of an Americanized feel, and it has no culture. I kind of found it to be kind of boring. The only thing that I really liked in Punta Cana is the resorts because outside of that, I don't know. Maybe I need to spend a little bit more time there. But outside of that, I didn't see nothing else exciting. I don't know. That's just me. But so
Well,
for you,
for me, what I found lacking in on the North Coast was the infrastructure. And
okay,
that's what I'm searching for now. I want to be able to go to a nice movie theater or a really
uh,
nice five-star restaurant or I was living in Sabaneta. You can't get any more country than that.
oh
You,
yeah,
you
oh
know,
you was okay,
so
okay,
I did that. I looked out my window and I saw cows in the front yard. So
right,
that's, after a while you want to, I'm a city girl.
yeah,
I
yeah,
grew up in New York City. So I want to be able to do certain things that living in the States affords me. And the North Coast is just not there yet. Like everything I order
uh huh,
comes from Amazon.
oh
Everything. Like
yeah,
I'm shipping everything in
uh huh,
because it's just certain things. It's not that I can't live without it, but sometimes you buy things here and they're defective. Like my toilet seat just broke. I had to go
yeah,
buy a toilet seat. the toilet seat they put on it to me was just like plastic, like cheap
Right.
plastic stuff. There's a
Right.
lot of things that it's going to take time as people build better and put better, use better materials. But
Uh
I
huh.
just want a little bit more comfort. Let's put it that way. I want to see a pizza, although I'm a vegan, I don't eat, but I want to see a Pizza Hut or what you call Starbucks. I just want
Uh
to know
huh.
it's there and I can call Uber at whatever time of the night for delivery, but
Uh
I
huh.
might not do it now. Over
Well,
here,
you'll
you
you'll
can't do that.
definitely you'll definitely get that in like Santo Domingo, but I do foresee the infrastructure in Puerto Plata changing only because people are moving to Dominican Republic at a rapid pace. So there are going to be a lot of things that we are accustomed to having at our disposal. That they're going to have to meet those demands. You know what I mean? So whether the government implements it, um, I believe a lot of us expats are going to be coming there, bringing things that we are missing in the states, to Dominican Republic. But for somebody your age, like my mom, I've been trying to get her to come to Dominican Republic. Even told her once my house is done, because my mom is retired. I said, Mom, why don't you just come down, 6 months out of the year, stay at the house? And her mentality is, I'm not staying there. I'm not, So, it, I don't know. I feel like for you, woman of a certain age, just taking a leap of faith and jumping out, the window, that's commendable because most women your age are afraid, to do those kind of things. So, what advice would you give a woman, in your age bracket that's retired, that's looking to change, make a change in their life? Like, what advice would you give them?
First, you have to start with your mindset. You have to change your mindset. And if you don't start there, losing battle because the fear will always drive you back to what's familiar, right?
Mm, mm,
Um, I've been here, like I said, on and off, but been permanently here now since 2018. I actually convinced my son, who was living in LA, to move here. He's been here 4 years. I think he's been back to the state like 3 times. He built a very successful business here. He lives in Puerto Plata, and he's he's in his early 30s, you know?
mm, mm,
So you have to change your mindset. And once you leave and you start looking at things with different eyes, you will see the shortcomings, and you have to decide the pros and the cons. Now, I look at the pros and the cons, and to me, the
mm.
pros outweigh the cons.
Outweigh the cons,
So
right?
yes, I would say you have to shift that mindset
Mm-hmm.
and decide what's most important. And when you've come to that conclusion, it's an easy decision. Whether it's DR, Portugal, my brother has been on a quest
Mm-hmm.
to move to Portugal. For the last 6 years, he's been taking Portuguese. Just came back from Portugal. He wants to relocate to Portugal. Doesn't have
Mm-hmm.
to leave the US. He's a vice president with Target. He doesn't want to. He doesn't want to live that life anymore. He
Mm-hmm.
wants to be outside of the United States and just visit. So it's a whole mindset shift and what you've been taught that this is the place to be, that this is the world, and everybody wants to come here. And I remember when I was working on Wall Street, because I used to work on Wall Street, and this lady, she was an older lady to me at the time, and she said to me, "I don't know why you want to go anywhere. Everybody wants to come to America." She had never left her neighborhood. She had
Mm-hmm.
never been on a plane because everybody wants to come to America. So it has to start with your mindset first.
Oh, definitely. Like even for myself, I give myself 2 years to transition out of the states. And I'm pretty much setting myself up so that when I'm there, there's no turning. There's no turning back. But part of my transition, and it was hard for me, and I'm very transparent about that with my viewers. A viewer of mine sent me something that really resonated and stuck with me. It said, sometimes you have to make yourself uncomfortable in order to be comfortable, you know. And that was a huge battle for me, you know, because I was accustomed, you know, living by myself. So I took myself out of my comfort zone, got a roommate to make my transition faster, you know. So people have no idea some of the sacrifices I have had to make in order to get where I'm at right now, you know. People always like to look at the exterior but don't know what's going on in the inside, you know. We're so quick to judge but don't know what a person is really going through. So, and I tell my viewers all the time, if this is something that you really want to do, you have to work hard at it. You know, you have to work hard at it. So for me, you know, I done downsized a lot. I mean, when I tell you, you have no idea how much I have downsized so that I can get to the next place or where next step in my life. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's pretty much where, you know, where I'm at. Yeah, I'm gonna read some more of
And
these.
I can agree with you because I did the same thing,
Uh huh.
and being a nurse sort of carries a certain amount of status. And I actually gave up my place and rented a room in my girlfriend's house
Look at
so
that.
that my overhead would be lower,
Uh
so that
huh.
I could save my money and exit. So yes, you have to be uncomfortable.
Yeah, definitely. And you know, it's helping me. It's helping me out. It's helping me to get my house done faster. You know, so for those of you guys who are looking to make that transition, you got to make yourself uncomfortable in order to get there. Sometimes, you know, and it's sacrificing. You know, that's what it's about. Future World Films checking in. I appreciate you, Future World. Sheldon Gaza City says because the perception that America be putting in people mind about the killings and the violence that happened in these Caribbean country when it's not true. I like what she said about changing your mindset. Yeah, yeah. I do too. I do too. You definitely have to change your mindset. A lot of us, you know, when we go to these countries, whether we are there for a short period of time or even looking to move there full time, we have to take ourselves out of the westernized mentality, you know, because when you are transitioning, it will be hard for you if you still. It's going to be hard for you to adapt if you have that westernized mentality, you know. So my advice to people who are looking to make that transition, you know, do your research about the country, travel there, stay there no less than a month, get a feel of it to see if this is somewhere where you want to be full time. You know, for me, when I first, you know, made my trip to Dominican Republic, I was there for 7 days. I knew that I wanted to be there after the 7 days because I didn't want to go back home. You know, it felt like home to me. So when I felt like that, I'm like, oh man, I gotta get back there. You know, and I came back home, worked my ass off, and I was back three months later. You know what I mean? So that's how I knew for me that this is where I wanted to be. It just for me, it just felt like home. You know, and not just that, I seen people like me. You know, as you know, Dominican Republic, they come as light as white and as dark as me. You know, so it's a plethora of different, you know, complexions and everything. You know, so it just for me, it just felt like home. You know, felt like home. James the Pro Expat. Yo, this is James. Shout out to James the Pro Expat. I appreciate you, my brother. Great video. Thank you. Thank you. So, guys, if you guys want to chime on in, this is the time to chime on in. Any questions that you might have in terms of relocating to the Dominican Republic, this will be your time to chime in. And also, there's 9 of you guys in the chat. I'm gonna need you guys to hit the like, hit the share, and subscribe. And if you don't know where the like button is, it's the 3 buttons at the top right hand corner. I appreciate you guys. So now, you know, now that you're there, and you said you had opened up a few businesses in order to sustain yourself, can you tell me what that process was like for somebody who may be looking to open up a business? Like, what avenues did you have to go down in order to open up your business in Dominican Republic?
Well, the good thing about over here is that there's less bureaucracy.
Oh yeah,
So all
oh
you
yeah.
got to do is find your spot, know what you want to sell or what kind of business you want to open. The challenge here is finding workers that want to work. And the challenge, especially in Sasua, and I
Hmm.
guess this is because I think this is probably more in Sasua is because of the environment and the women that are there that are used to making that easy money.
Right.
It was hard to find people who wanted to work, who wanted a salary. Like they would come and they would work for like 2 weeks, then you don't hear from them again. Or
Oh,
some auntie is sick in Barahona. Let's put it that way.
yeah.
So that was a challenge. But there's not a lot of bureaucracy now. Like my son's business, he really did everything legit. He formed a company here. He went through the capital. He pays taxes here. He did what I didn't do. But
Okay.
you can go both ways. You can
Hmm.
go both ways. But for me, since mine was not on the scale that his is, then I decided I didn't really want to go that route right now. But
Okay.
if I were to get back into something where I have a physical location again, I would
Uh-huh.
definitely do. Mhm. But
Okay.
it's easy. I was surprised when I went to the hair salon and they sold beer. I
Oh
I
yeah.
couldn't
Oh
believe
yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Nail
Yeah.
shops, you get liquor.
Uh-huh.
So it's different here, different
Yeah.
rules.
Definitely different. So what? Since you done opened up, you said you opened up a salon, right? Not a salon, a beauty supply store, and what was the
Beauty
other
supply
business?
store and a boutique.
And a boutique. Okay. So how long did those businesses last? And what would you if somebody was looking to open up a business, what kind of business would you advise them to open up? Like, what do you feel that would be a good business to open up? And I'm not to give any of your ideas, but I know you probably don't want nobody to steal your ideas, but just for an example, just give us a business that you think would flourish in Dominican Republic for somebody that's looking to
I
open up a business.
always said, no, we keep talking about Dominican Republic, but we have to be specific on what part of the island because
Okay, well, the North Coast, the North Coast.
the North Coast, okay,
No, it's
the
okay.
male, the male dominated side of the island. Okay, my businesses were in Sasua, and I,
Uh-huh.
I catered a lot to the girls who were there. So
Okay.
my business, um, I noticed most of the men. Oh, and even now they open restaurant. It's like a million and one restaurant and a million and one bars. It's
Right.
like they come and they and I've
Mm-hmm.
always said, why doesn't somebody do like a dollar store? A dollar
Mm.
store would be a money maker here. You know what I mean?
Mm.
I
Mm-hmm.
think only problem would probably be the shipping because I used to do flipping pallets. I've always had my hands in all sorts of things. And I've been trying to flip furniture into DR because the furniture quality here is
It,
horrendous.
it's horrible.
Horrendous.
It's horrible. Yeah.
Horrible.
Yeah.
Horrible.
Yeah. Yeah.
I have so many contacts because from I was, like from 2007, I've always had my own business. Even though I was doing nursing, I had an online store. I always sold stuff. I was
Mm-hmm.
always into that. And I have so many contacts in wholesale and, you know,
So it's funny you
and
say that. So do I. But go ahead. Go ahead.
yeah, so I've been trying to get furniture into the country. I even tried, like a couple of the cargo businesses, and they were like a couch that I would buy in the States for like $300. It would cost me 600 to ship it.
Just to ship it. Yeah,
So
it's not worth it.
it's
It's
not
not.
worth it. But if somebody could figure that out, then that would be a deal breaker because the furniture here is horrible. I actually had some of my furniture custom made, which
Mm-hmm.
that was my other alternative because you go into the store to buy a couch, they don't want you to sit on it because they don't want you to see it's hard as a rock,
Right. Exactly.
you know.
Exactly. And
So
well, I don't mean to cut you off because I just don't want to forget what you said about having things custom made because I'm pretty much at the tail end of finishing the first level of my home, and I'm looking pretty much to start furnishing it. So when you got some custom made stuff done, like how was the quality? In all honesty,
it
like
was
how?
pretty
Because
good.
yeah, I'm looking to go the custom made route for certain things. In terms of like my dining room table and my bed frame, and all of that stuff. So yeah, so you're
Yeah,
saying
that
that the
it was pretty good. It was pretty good. I had my beds made, and then I bought the mattresses. The mattress quality was pretty good. But I
okay,
had my headboard and the frame and everything made, and it was pretty good. It wasn't expensive. I paid like $600 for like a king size bed.
okay,
It, the
that's
place
not
I
bad.
lived in, I lived in Plantation. If anybody knows Puerto Plata, um, it's kind of an exclusive area. I had 3 bedrooms, 3 baths with a maid's quarter, brand new, gated security. I was paying $700 a month for it. So
Oh
I had
wow.
to furnish 3 bedrooms.
Uh huh.
So but things like the stove and the refrigerator, they're okay. They're good quality, but the bedrooms and the couches. Now there's one particular place that sells beautiful furniture, but they're terribly overpriced. And they're in Santo Domingo. They have an outlet store called Ilumel. Like
I think
that's
Miss Sharonda show sent me that. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Ilumel. And their furniture is all imported, but you're gonna pay a lot for it. So it depends
Okay.
on what your budget is. I went with custom made. Now, if you have connect within the local, and it's so important for us as expats not to surround ourselves by nothing but expats. Like you
Right,
you have
right.
to really give to the community because you're gonna hear this. I know somebody that does so and so. My cousin does so and so. He
Yeah.
can make your side table or whatever. So
Hmm.
because my husband is Dominican, and now I'm in a now I'm looking at it from the inside out, from an expat living in a Dominican community. I have so many contacts now through him and his family that I can find pretty much anything I want without paying the gringo
The
price. You know the
price.
gringo price.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And I stress that I can't stress that enough to my viewers. I tell them all the time, try to find a local, befriend them. I'm not saying that you got to splurge on them and all of that, but try to find someone genuine that can really show you the ropes and help you navigate, through the process. Because if you don't, you're gonna find yourself spending more money than you anticipated. you know, yeah. So you married a Dominican, and you just mentioned that you are in a Dominican neighborhood. So how is that like living in a Dominican neighborhood as an expat, especially as a female? For us guys, I mean, it's we can adapt. I'm not saying that women can't, but y'all are a little bit more scary when it comes to stuff like that. So how how is that for you living in a Dominican neighborhood on a daily basis? Like how do you feel, and are the people embracing? Like give me your intake on that.
Well, a lot of times they speak to me in Spanish because they don't know
Okay.
I'm an expat. They
Uh-huh.
don't know I'm American. Um, I always say whenever I go to Jamaica, and I used to visit Jamaica, as I got off the plane and was going through customs, even though I had my accent, it was a different accent.
Right.
They just knew right
Knew
away
automatically,
something
yeah.
about the whatever. But it does help that my husband is a cop. He's internal affairs. He wears a uniform,
Mm-hmm.
and he's now transitioning because he just got his law degree into law. But it carries a certain amount of respect. Let's put it that way. And me being here with him, I
Um,
I don't get bothered. But even so, nobody bothers you really
uh-huh.
seriously. Like I have I have left my door open. We forgot to close the door, and nothing happened. And people would
Mm-hmm.
think that, okay, I'm living in the Dominican area, you're gonna get robbed. Me coming from New York, I'm always locking up. I lock everything. Every night,
Right.
did you lock up? Did you lock up? And he's like, why are you so paranoid?
Uh-huh.
Because I'm from Brooklyn, New York.
Two more papers. Uh-huh. Okay.
But
Um,
that's part of being from New York and working in Manhattan, where you have to have 2 eyes behind your back, your head. it's been very difficult for me to leave that. It's not a paranoia, it's almost like a safety mechanism.
Hmm.
So being here, I still lock up, I still close the door. That's going to take some time for me because I lived in New York for 10 years old until I was 20 something.
Right.
But they're comfortable here. People leave their doors open, the kids are outside. Once they
Hmm.
know you and they see you around the neighborhood, they really don't bother you. They want to get to
Hmm.
know you because when they know you speak English, everybody wants to practice their English.
Right. And I experienced that, when I was dating my girl at the time. She lived in the calle, in the, I should say, barrios. And it was the same feeling for me. I never felt like, I mind you, she lived in the barrios. I'm talking about, if anybody knows the name of the, what's the name of that barrio? uh, Haiti, Barrio Haiti, or something like that. But anybody that knows that barrio would know, okay, yeah, she lives in a poor community. But I never felt like I was unsafe. Everybody was embracing, everybody was welcoming. I mean, even to the point where I would drive in there by myself. Like when I got used to, going back and forth, I would just get in the air, leave the airport, get in my rental car, and go straight there with no problems, driving through the barrios. But yeah, once they, once the people know you and know who you are, it's no need for you to feel, unsafe. No need for you to feel
Yeah.
unsafe. Yeah. So, in terms of, like, let's talk about rent and the cost of living. Okay, how much would you say? Because I asked all my viewers that, and everybody has their own uh, idea how much they could live off on a monthly basis. So, and y'all women, y'all tend to spend a lot more than us men. So I'm glad that I'm getting this perspective from you. So you tell me, how much you think a single person could live off of in Dominican Republic?
I have actually been able to save on a fixed income here where I
Wow.
could not do with a job.
Uh.
Um, so it all depends on your lifestyle.
Uh-huh.
My my biggest expense right now is ordering everything from overseas.
Okay.
Um, so when I go over,
Hold on,
I
hold
stack
on,
up on
hold on.
that.
Not to cut you off. Yeah, the international hobo, Barrio Haiti in Puerto Plata. That's exactly where it's at. Barrio Haiti. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
When I get back to Florida, I usually have everything that I ordered delivered and it's picked up by DR Cargo on a Wednesday in Fort Lauderdale. Takes about a week and a half, 2 weeks to get here. Um, or I'll go up with empty suitcases. Like I went up 2 weeks ago and I took three empty suitcases, duffel bags, and I packed them into one, and I only paid $86 for an empty suitcase. But when I'm coming back, I'm
Mm-hmm.
bringing back stuff mainly because I'm in the process of starting another business. I'm doing an online boutique, and it's really going well. So I have to keep, bringing stuff in. But I have been able to save here. My total expenses between rent, light, internet, food. I don't really buy a lot of clothes because I'm not going out, where I
Mm-hmm.
need to dress up every day. It's very casual.
Mm-hmm.
Getting my hair and my nails done. I had my hair done the other day. It was $25. My nails was 10. A full
Mm-hmm.
manicure and pedicure, um, about 1,000.
$1,000 a month. Okay, so that's pretty much what the average yeah, that's what I'm getting. They say $1,000 a month should be enough to sustain yourself for a single person. So there you have it, guys. She said it herself, $1,000, and this is coming from a woman, because like I said, y'all like to spend a little bit more than we do. Okay, so that's good to know for those of you guys who are curious. $1,000, depending on how you move in Dominican Republic. Now, if you're one of those people who like to be at the discotheque every weekend and like to drink and be out there in the bars and stuff, then you might need to add about a good $300 or $400 to that thousand, okay, just for the entertainment alone. So let's talk about rent, because I know you said that you live in a Dominican neighborhood, and I'm hearing that the cost of rent, huh? Hello? Oh man, I think she froze, guys. Can you hear me?
You, yeah, you froze.
Oh,
You froze.
oh, okay. Can
Yeah,
you hear me? Can you
froze.
hear me? Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
So, yeah, I was just saying, I know you live in the Dominican neighborhood, and there has been questions raised about the price of rent going up. I'm hearing, nowadays, back then, back in 2016, 15, you could get a rent, you could find a decent apartment for about $300. Now everybody's saying the price is going up to five, six, seven. So my question to you: is there any $300 apartments still available in Dominican Republic? Uh, can you
Yeah.
hear me? Is it me? Or is it
Yeah.
your connection?
It keeps you just stop. You just freeze. And
Okay.
then it's around and you come back.
Okay, so I don't know if you heard my last question, but I was saying that there has been questions raised about the price of rent going up in Dominican Republic. Back in 2015, 16, you could find a decent apartment for about $300. Now I'm hearing that is no longer the case. Apartments are going for anywhere between five to like 700. Depending the location. So my question to you is, I already know, but I just want the viewers to know. Um, can you find an apartment under, let's just say, $400 a month in Dominican? I'm talking about something decent, though. Something that you could live in. Not local style, but something you could live in comfortable. Could you still
Right.
find an apartment between the ranges of $300 to $400 a month?
Where I live in the Union, which is directly across the street from Puerto Plata Airport. And I just moved into an apartment, which I had to wait for them to finish building. I waited 2 months and I paid 300 a month. And it's two bedroom, two bath, really nice, hot water on all the time. You don't have to flip the switch and wait for it. Hot water is on all the time. I have air conditioning, which I did put in myself, by the way. But I mean, it came with light fixtures. It came with everything that I needed to make me comfortable. Nice tiles, um, two bathrooms, one in my master and one in my other bedroom. I really can't complain. Now, if the mindset of America, you're gonna have to realize this is not your tourist area. So
Right.
it's not gonna be aesthetically beautiful. Like everything is not gonna have manicured lawns. So you're gonna have pockets where, there's garbage or like I lived in Torre Alto, which was a real upscale neighborhood. And one
Uh
of the
huh.
streets I went down, there was garbage everywhere. Like it
Uh
was
huh.
so bad. So there's gonna be little pockets because it's an older neighborhood. And I think these buildings were gifted by the government, so people have passed it down. Some
To their
people take really
families.
good care of it.
Uh
Yeah,
huh.
and some people they don't really care. But
Uh huh.
again, mindset. It's what you want. Now, for me, this apartment works for me now. Like the cost of it works for me now because I know my plan is to go to Punta Cana. So I
Right.
don't want to pay $1,000 a month for rent when I'm trying to, buy
Save money.
something here.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it works fine. Now where my son lives in Puerto Plata, he was living there. Well, he's still living there. He was paying 350 for a brand new. We were the first people living there. Brand new two bedroom, two bath, gated building, really nice. And now the landlord is telling him, "Oh, I want to give the apartment to my daughter."
Uh huh.
They're looking for something else because they realize now, word is out,
The
this
price of
apartment I
rents
can get
get
600 for.
exactly.
You know?
And this is why I tell people now, uh, the time is now in terms of investing in Dominican Republic, only because I'm predicting prices just are going to continue to rise, especially for people who are living on a fixed income that are living in like the hot spots. Eventually, they're going to be priced out. They're going to be priced
Mhm.
out. You just said it. Just had your son's situation is a prime example. These owners are realizing that the prices are going up, So now they're forcing the people that are paying $300 and $400 rent so that they can raise it up to $200, $300 extra dollars a month. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So that's something that people who are on fixed incomes living in Dominican Republic need to watch out for. Okay, because eventually you're gonna find yourselves living out in the campo further and further out, only
Yeah.
because you done got priced out and you can't afford to live in the hot spots anymore. It's unfortunate, but that's just how the cookie is crumbling in Dominican Republic.
Right. Yeah. Unless you're planning on owning,
Right.
um, we want to own. So we were looking at some developments in Punta Cana, and there was one that we're really looking to called Vista Cana. And a two-bedroom, two-bath, beautiful apartment in a high rise was going for $90,000.
Look at
That's
that.
not gonna be there in a year,
No,
another year or two. It's not.
no. But let me tell you something. When I was looking at apartments in Punta Cana back then, we were talking about 40, 50, 60,000. Now, guys, the prices are shooting up to damn near 100K. And we're talking about for an apartment, you know.
Right.
And I used to, like, when I first got started with my construction, I would constantly tell the viewers, guys, the time is now. If you're looking to build, even if you don't have the money to do your full construction, start with the base, start with the wall, start doing something so that you can avoid the inflation, And now I got, viewers reaching out to me, JD, I'm ready. And giving them the quotes that I've been giving them, I'm like, before I even give them a quote, I gotta let them know, because from in the beginning, I'm very transparent about how much I spent. And a lot of my viewers, they're basing it off of what I spent. But I told my last viewer, you gotta understand, I started this 2 years ago. Prices have changed from 2 years ago to now. So you can't expect to pay what I paid, only because inflation is going up. And we're not just talking about, materials, we're talking about labor costs as well. You know what I mean? And it's going to
Right.
continue to rise. So I tell my viewers, listen, when I started, I didn't have all the money. I did it step by step, phase by phase, and I worked my ass off until I was ready to complete the next step. And for people who are looking to build that can't afford to spend their money flat out, that's the same route you're going to have to go. But you need to get started now. The time is now.
Is now.
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
But we are 52 minutes and 30
Oh,
seconds in. Yeah, you see how the time fly? I told you it was gonna
the
flow.
time has
Conversation was
flew.
gonna flow. Yeah.
Yeah.
More than 100,000. I saw condos advertising for 200K. Exactly. Exactly. And this is why I tell people, man. Those days where you could build a home for 150,000 in DR, those days are over.
They're
they
gone.
they're
They're gone.
over. They're gone. They're gone. People are gonna have to start looking elsewhere if you're looking to buy, especially build a home. You're gonna have to start looking elsewhere because those days are over. Not unless you're looking to move in the middle of Dominican Republic where you might have to travel an hour and a half to access a beach.
Right.
And in the rural parts, you're gonna find, you could possibly build a home for that price. But in the hot spots, definitely not. Definitely not.
You know.
No. But I
I have
appreciate
a
having.
friend.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I have a friend. Just wanted to say this. I have a. I have. It's so. Funny that I've. Been here. I've met so many people that I probably would have never met. Being in
Mm-hmm.
the state, and I just want to say to everybody that coming here, we really need to be, because we're still expats, we're still visitors here. We really need to still help each other out and really be a tight knit community, whether it's on the North Coast or wherever, be inclusive. And what I found that I had a problem with it being in the groups was it was very male dominated. Some of the comments were very offensive to me as a woman. And I just want people to be mindful. And I actually came out of the group because of that. Russell's been trying to get me to go back in, but I haven't. So it's been a few years. So I hope that changes and men realize that there are women who want to do this, that are not necessarily coming here they just want a different lifestyle. And, just be mindful of that. And just be a little bit more respectful in some of those chat groups.
Okay, I respect that. I respect that. Um, all right, so listen, we are 54 minutes in, and there's 14 of you guys in this live. I'm gonna need y'all to hit that like, hit the share, hit the subscribe, guys. I'll take 10 out of the five that I already got, you know? And for those of you guys who don't know where it is, it's the three buttons in the top right corner. And before we close out, I just want for the viewers just looking to find you and look you up, just tell them your YouTube page so that they can follow you on your YouTube channel, and pretty much tell them what your channel is about so they know what to expect.
Okay, my channel is called Escape Nurse Burnout, and I started that channel 2 years ago where it was more or less like a vlog about my life, my transition year. So there's going to be some videos that I didn't take down, but I'm starting again because, like I said, 2 years I have not been in front of the camera. But now I'm sort of targeting male or female, but my specific audience is nurses. And because I relate to them so much, and I know what it's like to be a nurse who has experienced burnout, I just want my peers to know that there is life after nursing, and I'm trying to help them, if they want to reach out to me, how to transition. If you're tired, if you're just burnt out, if you want to take a sabbatical, you want to leave the bedside, you want to leave nursing for a while, transition to DR, I am always here to help anybody. Doesn't even have to be nurses, but that's my target audience. But anybody wants any information, they can reach out to me. I'm I mean, I'm happy to share what I've learned. And I've had some bumps. And if I can help somebody avoid some of those bumps and
Mm-hmm.
I can help in any way, I'm more than happy to.
Sounds good, and I appreciate. I feel the same way. You know, I'm all about helping those get to the next step. You know, without having to go through all the, like you said, bumps that I had to go through. You know, yeah. So with that being said, guys, I appreciate you guys. I appreciate all the love and support. And if those of you who do like this live, be sure to hit the like, share, and subscribe. And if those of you who are looking to come on the platform to share your experiences, whether it be transitioning from US to whatever country it is, investing, any informative information that I could provide to my viewers, I'm all for it, guys. So I appreciate all of the support again. Until next time, guys, I'll be talking to you soon. Is there anything else you want to say to viewers before we close out?
Don't be afraid. You've got one life, and tomorrow is not promised to anybody. So whatever you want to do, go for it. That's all I can say. Change that mindset. Don't be afraid. Reach out to people who can help you, maybe help you get to that next level. Just do it because, like I said, I've been a hospice nurse for 25 years. I've seen billionaires who would love to go back and just live life over. It's not about the money when you've got 6 months to live.
Amen. Amen to that. So you heard it. You heard it. You heard it from Colleen herself, guys. And Millie Doe's Cat, I appreciate you joining the live, and hope to see you in future lives of mine. I really do. Thanks for joining. I appreciate that. She says it's the first time on the live and really enjoy the interview. I appreciate
That's
that,
good.
Millie. I appreciate it. Well,
That's
all right,
good.
guys. I gotta close out. I gotta get back to work. I appreciate you guys again, and you guys will be hearing from me soon. Actually, tomorrow. No, no, no. Tuesday. Tuesday, you guys can expect another live with me, talking about prices of real estate and some other things. I have another surprise guest coming on, so be sure to tune in on Tuesday at 6 o'clock as well. Peace and love to you on the Impress. Peace and love to you too, my brother. All right, guys, y'all take care. I appreciate y'all.
Bye-bye.
Take care, guys.
Have a good evening.